Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome to this special lecture on RBI Assistant 2022 exams. A lot of you had requested us to make a session on how to study for RBI Assistant 2022. From today onwards, we have exactly 1 month left for the exam, and it is high time that we get our act together. You know, when you requested us that, sir, please make a session on how to study for RBI Assistant 2022, I thought, what is the need for it? And then I went through the YouTube and saw what many people are saying about the RBI Assistant 2022 exams and how you should be preparing for it. And I saw so many myths that are being created around it that students would get really confused because they would not have the right way to prepare, right? So it's an exam where you have less time, which has high cutoff. So you need the right way approach to prepare for this exam. And no one was talking about that. Everyone was all about how their classes and their things would help you in the clearing the exam. Talking about how attending lectures after lectures would help you at clearing the exam. So a lot of misinformation was there as I went through, and I realized that you're getting confused is all valid because what other people are suggesting is so time intensive and effort intensive, and also the result, the effect of that would be so negligible that you would get frustrated in 5, 7, 10 days, right? And that's why I thought that let me give you the best way to prepare for this particular exam, and for that you need to have the best study plan for the upcoming 30 days. If you follow it, you would realize that you have done your best that was possible from you. The maximum, effect that you could have generated from your time, that you have already done. After that, it is obviously competition that would make the difference. Take it, right? Now, in that also, what I saw was that people who had less time, 3 hours or at the max 4 hours, they were facing a lot of problem because most of the guidance that they were getting were about 7 hours, 8 hours, even 10 hours of preparation. Now that's, for some of you, it is impossible to have so much time at your disposal to prepare for one exam. You might be working, you might have other job, you might be preparing for another exam parallelly or your college exams. So 3 to 4 hours is the maximum that you can manage. So what about them? It's as if saying that you cannot clear the exam. So what I wanted also was to focus that, guys, even if you have 3 to 4 hours, you have a shot at this exam, but you'll have to plan it well. Take it. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to discuss those students who have 7 to 8 hours at their disposal. I'll also discuss that, right? But 3 to 4 hours, if someone has less time, you should follow my 3 to 4 hours per day wala plan. Okay? So, before we move on to discuss what is the exam all about, let me tell you why this 3 to 4 hours is possible, or even in 7 to 8 hours you will get the best possible results from yourself. That is because we will be following, yes, the SBL, simulation based learning techniques. Yes, my dear friends, in such kind of conditions where time is less, and where the paper nature is how? The paper nature is extremely scoring. Now, in the prelim exam, you know that the cutoffs of the last 2 years of RBI Assistant had been extremely high, right? In 2017 paper, it was more than 80 in most of the states. And in 2019 paper, it was more than 90 in some states and more than 85 for almost all the states for general category students. So, it's a high cutoff paper. Very speed oriented paper, right? And which we are not normally accustomed to. So your concepts would not directly translate to scores out here, my dear friends. Your concepts are important, always important, but to translate them to scores, you would need focused and extensive practice. So simulation based learning is what you need at this point. And that is why I would be, arranging your daily study plan in such a way so that this SBL is followed in there. You know where SBL is used? Normally SBL is used in high intensity exercises, high risky activities. For flights, we use simulation based learning for pilots. Why do we use that? Because they have so less time to react to things, that they would have to react in the right way to let things happen in the right way. Okay, and that's the same for you in RBI Assistant, and that's why this method would help you a lot. Okay, so the paper looks like this. Maths 35 questions, 20 minutes. We are only talking about prelims today. Reasoning 35 questions, 20 minutes, and English 30 questions, 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, 1 hour total paper. The nature of the paper looks very similar to the clerical and the PO papers that we had been taking for SBI and IBPS, right? So what is the difference that is creating so much noise in RBI Assistant? The difference is that the generic difficulty level of RBI Assistant for the past 2 papers had been on the easier side in prelims, mark me. So therefore the cutoffs have gone extremely high. So this is what is creating so much panic, so much noise around this exam. So let's see how do we handle that now. First, we will talk about the demo study plan for those students who have less time with themselves. 3 to 4 hours at the max they have. So how would they do it? The first 15 days, 30 days we have, right? Or let's say 28, 29 days we have from here if you are, listening to this tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So divide it into 2 halves. The first 14, 15 days and the next 14, 15 days. What do you need to do? Day 1. Take mock. 1 hour, right? This is SBL, simulation based learning. So the way I would ask you to do would be much different. Okay. So listen to me, listen the logic behind it, and then you take a call. Take mock 1 hour, 1 hour mock, right? Time based mock. Analyze the mock the same day after you have taken the mock. Take a break and then analyze the mock. Now analyze the mock in 3-step SRS method. Now what is SRS method? My SRS method is simple. Score yourself first. So once you've taken the mock, your score would be there. So you score yourself first. See which questions are correct and which are wrong. Okay. And then you reattempt the mock, those questions which are wrong or which you have not attempted. Inside the paper, which are wrong and which you have not attempted them. Okay. And after you have done that, see the solution of the questions which you had doubt on, which you could not attempt still, right? You understand the solution of them. So this is the analysis process. Score, reattempt and see solution. Now what is different in this 3-step SRS method? Simple. When you are analyzing, what is happening in this case is that if you have left a question because you could not manage your time, if you have made a silly mistake question, right, those you would be able to do in your reattempt. So you would know these were in your capability set, but you did not do it or could not do it because of some exam management issues. Okay? Silly mistake, time management, all are exam management issues. Then there would be some questions you would identify where your concept is lacking. Even after trying it out, you could not answer that question. So that means what? There your concept is lacking. So this you would get from C solution wala part 2. Okay. So you have 2 kinds of questions after you have been done with the analysis. Now, when you are doing the reattempt, how much time you should take for each of the questions that you have not done or have not attempted or have done wrong? Hardly double the time it should take in your mock at the most. So for example, let's say 20 seconds you do give to that question in mock. So 30 to 40 seconds at most you should give. After that, you should leave it because then it's a concept issue. Not being able to do it within 30-40 seconds, if in the mock you wanted to do it within 20 seconds, then it is a concept issue. Then the next step is identify the concept building zones. Now, those areas where after reattempt also you couldn't do are those concept building zones of yours. Okay. Also, after reattempt, if you feel that there are some questions which you could do, but you took more time and you need to improve their concept, they would also come inside your concept building zones. So you have divided your whole course into two parts. One is concept building zone and another is where your concept are built, where you will have to work on the scores of that. Okay. Now, in the concept building zones, now why did I divide it? Because you do not have much time. So you cannot have mindless practice of all topics. In topics where your concept are already built, there the practice would happen directly in mock, right? But the areas where your concept are not built, there you will have to do extra practice. Okay? Makes sense? Now, what did you do in step 4 of day 1? Take one or two concept building topics of any one area. There are 3 areas in front of you: quant, reasoning, English. So from any one of the area sections, take one or two concept building topics and revise its concepts with lectures and concept building level practice questions. Okay, right. So understand this very clearly. Lectures and CB level practice questions. Now when I say CB level practice questions, in lectures also we take questions which are of those level which would make your concept clear. For example, in the arithmetic or number series lectures of Abhishek sir, he gives you the questions of a basic level and tells you how you should be doing them. Those level of questions practice from lecture also and by yourself also. In grammar, I give you for every concept, for every error that can happen, some 7 to 10 error questions in my grammar playlist. I have given you in the first 13 lectures, the concept builder lectures of grammar. So those kind of questions you practice. So this would take you, if you have taken one topic, it will take you hardly 1 hour. If you have taken 2 topics, it will take you around 2 hours. So look at the time that you take on day 1. 1 hour for mock, 1 hour for analysis, and 1 hour and 1 to 2 hours for the practice of concept building topics. Practice includes looking at the lectures, because here, because you have, a problem with concepts, you will have to also look at the lectures. So 20, 30, 40 minutes of lectures, where the concept has been discussed. You can directly go to that part where concept has been discussed and go through it and then practice questions. Okay. So that would also be a part of it. So this is the only utility where lectures would come for RBI Assistant in the clarification of concept building lectures. Now these 4 would take you maximum 3 to 4 hours, right? Okay. Now, day 2. Achha, the step 3 of day 1, identifying the concept building zone, would automatically happen with the analysis, na? So that would not take you extra time. Day 2. Day 2 only one step. Take 3 to 4 topics of concept building topics, that is from the other 2 sections. Now, let's say on day 1 you took quant. Then English and reasoning concept building topics are remaining, na? So take 3 to 4 concept building topics from those other 2 sections and revise this concept the same way, lectures and CB level practice. Now this 3 to 4 hours, right? So 1 day mock and plus one or 2 CB topics practice and clarification, and day 2 3 to 4 CB topics practice and clarification through lectures or from book, wherever you want to do it. Okay. This is what you should do for the first 15 days, first 14 to 15 days. This is, for first 14 to 15 days, sir, day 1 or day 2 hi to diya hai. What about the rest of the days? Yes, my dear friend, you'll have to repeat this process. Repeat day 1, day 2, day 2, 1, day 2. So there will be 7 slots of day 1, day 2 over the period of 14 days, which you would do. So what would happen, you would be done with most of the topics you are not comfortable in. Now, here a lot of people are saying that first analyze the paper that has come in the past few years, and okay, so that those are all good advice, but the point is that we have less time, na? So analyzing the paper would make sense, but would only make sense if it helps me to develop those areas that I do not have an idea about. Okay. So here why SBL is necessary? Because you have less time, and therefore if you direct your preparation from your results, when you take a mock you get a result. So from your results, then with every passing mock you get better at taking this type of exam, right? Okay. That's why I said that the results would be much more than mindless following techniques where you'll have to study for 8 to 10 hours and still you would not be happy with the results that you are getting. Take a mugging up thousands of words in 30 days, still you would not be able to do that word in vocabulary which has come in the exam. Okay. So those would not help you as much, this would help. Achha, you would say, sir, vocabulary to aata hai, to vocabulary kaise kare? Why? Through the marks, through the questions that you are doing, through when you go through those new words and have an idea about those new words, right, you would be getting associated with these words every day for the next 30 days, right? And they would be repeated also. Some words would be repeated, some words meanings would be repeated. So if that would not help you to remember these words, mindless mugging up of vocabulary would not help you remember those words too. Okay, right? So don't use your time in places where it's not going to give you results. So that is one. But this first 15 days. Now what's the next 15 days? No. Every day for the next 15 days, I mean after the first 15 days, take mock 1 hour, analyze the mock the same day, the same way, SRS method. But after 14-15 days, the number of concept building topics would come down drastically because you've already done them. Because out of the, let's say, 25 topics that comes in RBI Assistant across the board of quant, reasoning and English, you would be not good at only 7-8 topics, not the max, or 10 topics. And in those 14 days, you would have covered all of them, right? So what should be the third step then? Third step is extensive practice of questions. Now earlier what we were doing concept building practice. Now concept building practice is understand the concept and do 10 to 12 questions because I have less time. Extensive practice is at least 20 to 30 questions depending upon the topic. In some topic you can do, in simplification topic you might be able to do 30 to 40 questions in 40 minutes or 30 minutes. In arithmetic topics you might be able to do only 10 to 12 questions. So depending upon or 15 questions. So depending upon the topic you should be fixing on the number, but on an average 20 to 25 questions. That is extensive practice on any topic. Okay, right. So that is going to take 1 to 2 hours depending upon the number of areas that you have picked up for that day. So this is your last 15 days, next 15 days, after the first 15 days plan that should be, right? So this together would make you or ensure that you are prepared for the best, in the best possible manner according to your capability and the time limitation that you had. Tick, right? Next. Now comes those students who have 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 hours in the day. Okay. First 15 days, day 1. Take mock, 1 hour. Analyze the mock, same day, same method. The same, the first 2 steps, same. Right. Identify the concept building zone, here also same. Now in the 4th step, there is a difference. You see, take 1 or 2 concept building topics of any one of quant, reasoning, English. Till now, it's okay. And revise its concepts with lectures and extensive practice. So, if a person who has 3 to 4 hours would do 10-12 questions practice, you should do 25 questions practice. Or at least double. Because what did I tell you? That the nature of the paper is such that you will have to focus on your ability to do the stuff fast as well as accurately. Now that would take as much practice as you can give. So their concept building practice, because they do not have as much time, but that would also help them. But for you, if you have time, why not to take extensive practice? So you would do extensive practice. Okay. You can take, for you shouldn't be taking 1 topic. You should be taking at least 2 topics because you have that time. So you see 3 to 4 hours, here 1 and 1 hour there. So 6, at the max 7 hours, you are done. Day 2, again 3 to 4 concept building topics from the other 2 sections that is remaining. and revise its concept with lectures and extensive practice. Again, extensive practice, and this would take you 5 to 6 hours. Okay, so even 6 hours is more than enough, according to me, if you follow this plan. 3 hours minimum, 6 hours maximum, and you are done with it. Okay. And repeat it obviously for the first 15 days. So those who have more time, repeat it for the first 15 days. Now the last 15 days, what you should do? Take mock, again analyze it the same way we had done it for the other guys also. And then extensive practice of questions from 3 to 4 areas across subjects. So this would take another 3 to 4 hours. Right. In the last one, it was only from 1 to 2 subjects. Here 3 to 4 areas. I mean, across sections, 3 to 4 areas. So the number of areas increase. So therefore you are getting more amount of practice. Right. So this would ensure that you have done the best that you could have done. Alongside that, it would be better if you have a 40 minutes to 1 hour daily reading, which should be going on. As I tell you that every time you are going for any competitive exam, you should have built inside you that 1 hour wala reading practice, right? Where you would be reading your daily articles or a book reading might be. So that is separate. So that 1 hour regular reading would always help you, not only here, in all other exams, if you are doing it with a regularity for the whole year, right? So that would help. Tick. Okay. So this was the study plan, demo study plan for those guys who have more time. Bas, follow this and you are done, my dear friends. So the last few messages that I want to give to you are these. Make your schedule and follow it. Don't think about cutoffs daily. ठीक है, cutoffs high है, low है, देखा जाएगा. You give your best. With this SBL type of practice, you would give your best, that's for sure. This process would ensure maximum coverage. As I told you, maximum coverage would happen, right? ये भी कर लो, वो भी कर लो type वाला, frustration, you would avoid those kind of frustration also. So this is something that can be done over the period of the next 30 days. But those things that they are being suggested to us, 2 days, 2 classes every day, 3 classes every day, and then practice for 6-7 hours, that is something which is unattainable, undoable for long term. Enjoy your preparation, that's the key. And the last but not the least, be prepared for uncertainties, my dear friends. The last 2 exam cycle, they had high cutoffs. That does not mean that in this year pre also they would have high cutoffs or they would have easy questions only. So you are preparing on that pattern, that's okay, because everyone is preparing on that pattern. Your concepts are done, you are done with your practice also. But that does not mean that if you get a paper which has difficult level of questions, or let's say SBI PO type of paper, IBPS PO type of paper, there is a chance, that kind of paper, then you are unprepared. No, my dear friends, because everyone has focused toward this kind of preparation where there is more cutoff. So you and they are at the same level in terms of the preparation, or you might be at a better level because you are following the SBL method. So now what would happen is that how do you handle this change? Someone who handles the change with confidence, okay, this is just another type, जो हमसे होता है वो करेंगे, जो नहीं होता है वो छोड़ देंगे, and that would automatically come from mocks. So many mocks that I am suggesting, one of the good things would be that some mocks would be difficult. There also you would be orienting this same thing, जो होगा वो करेंगे, जो नहीं होगा वो छोड़ देंगे. There you will not be thinking about कि यार I would be able to clear the cutoff or not, because the cutoff would go low at that point of time in that kind of paper. Okay, so be prepared for uncertainties. Don't assume that paper would be like this and go with that mindset. Be prepared for surprises. Then you would enjoy the paper and do the best in your paper also. Okay, so that will be all for today. Hope this lecture helps you. Thank you very much and all the best.